Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive into the world of AI in global financial services.
So it's pretty complex.
It can be, but that's why we're here to break it down.
Yeah, make it easy to understand.
Exactly. So we're diving into a 2025 report from the Global Financial Innovation Network, GFIN for short.
Catchy.
Right. Basically, it's a group of regulators from all over the world who are trying to figure out how to let AI do its thing, innovate and all that, while at
Mhm.
the same time keeping consumers safe.
So like a balancing act.
Yeah, finding that sweet spot where innovation can flourish, but without putting people at risk.
Makes sense.
We're going to be talking about things like robo-advisors, those AI platforms that give financial advice.
Personalized
Oh,
finance.
yeah, that's getting really popular. It is. And even AI helping us understand those super long and complicated terms and conditions we all just click agree on without reading.
Guilty as charged.
Me too. But by the end of this deep dive, you'll have a much better understanding of what all this means for your own financial future.
Sounds good. I'm ready to dive in.
All right, let's do it. So, why is AI such a big deal in finance? What's all the hype about?
Well, the potential for AI to transform finance is huge.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about small incremental changes here. This
Wow.
is about making financial services more efficient, more accessible, and more tailored to each person's individual needs.
Okay, so no more one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. AI is all about personalization.
That's a relief because the old way of doing things often left people behind, especially those who didn't have access to traditional financial services.
Absolutely. AI has the potential to level the playing field and make financial services available to everyone, regardless of their background or income.
That's a big deal.
It is. Take robo-advisors, for instance. These AI-powered platforms can offer investment advice 24/7.
Wow, 24/7, that's pretty impressive.
It is. And they're much cheaper than a human
So it's
advisor.
like having a personal financial advisor in your pocket.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And then there are personalized finance apps that help people budget and save based on their own spending habits.
Okay, so robo-advice. That sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. Is this actually happening now?
Oh, it's happening right now. Robo-advisors are managing billions of dollars globally.
Really? Billions?
Billions in personalized finance apps are becoming more and more popular every day.
Yeah.
It's not the future, it's the present.
Wow. So maybe those robots taking over the world movies weren't too far off. But seriously, is there still a place for human advisors in this robo-advice world?
Think of it more like a partnership. Robo-advisors can handle those repetitive tasks, like rebalancing your portfolio or adjusting to market changes.
Okay, so the robots take care of the boring stuff.
Exactly. Which frees up human advisors to focus on the more complex stuff, like long-term financial planning, retirement planning, estate planning, the things that require a human touch and expertise.
So robots take care of the boring stuff and humans handle the big picture. I can get behind that. But let's be honest. What are the downsides of robo-advice? I mean, there's got to be some, right?
Well, one concern is data privacy. These robo-advisors rely on a ton of your financial data to give you personalized advice. So making sure that data is kept safe and used responsibly is crucial.
Yeah, data privacy is a big deal these days. It seems like every company wants our information.
It's true. And another thing to consider is the risk of AI generating false information,
Uh,
what we call hallucinations.
Hallucinations, like the robots are seeing things.
Not exactly.
Yeah.
But imagine getting a stock recommendation based on a made-up news article or a financial report that doesn't actually exist.
Oh, wow, that would be bad.
It would. That's why human oversight is so important. We need to make sure those robo-advisors are playing by the rules and not just spitting out random recommendations.
So it's like having a really smart intern who sometimes makes things up, but you've got a manager double-checking their work.
That's a good way to think about it. We
Yeah.
need to make sure that AI is being used to help people, not harm them.
Makes sense. All right, so let's move on to personalized finance. It sounds great in theory, but how is AI actually making financial services more personalized?
Think about it this way. AI is like having a financial assistant who knows your spending habits better than you do.
That's a little scary.
It can be, but it can also be incredibly helpful. AI can analyze your transactions, categorize your spending, track your bills, and even give you personalized recommendations on how to save money.
Okay, so it's like having a super organized and efficient financial planner who's always looking out for your best interests.
Exactly. And AI can do all of this in real time. So you're always getting up-to-date insights and recommendations.
Hold on, isn't that kind of creepy, having an AI analyze every purchase I make?
It can feel that way. But remember, you're in control. You choose which data to share and with which apps. And the benefits can be huge. Imagine an AI that can automatically negotiate lower interest rates for you, or flag a fraudulent transaction before you even notice it.
Okay, I see the appeal, but is this whole personalized finance thing just for tech-savvy people? What about those who aren't as comfortable with technology?
Not at all. Trends like open finance, where you choose to share your financial data with third-party apps, are making personalized finance more accessible to everyone.
So it's not just for the tech elite.
Nope. It's for anyone who wants to take control of their finances and make smarter decisions about their money. And the great thing is, AI is the engine that makes sense of all that data and delivers those personalized insights.
So it's like AI is the chef creating a custom meal plan based on your dietary needs and preferences.
Exactly. But even with the best chefs, there could be some hiccups. We need to be careful about companies exaggerating their use of AI or potentially manipulating people with all those personalized nudges.
So how do we know if a company is genuinely using AI to help us or just trying to make a quick buck?
That's a great question, and it's something we all need to be aware of as consumers. You have to be informed. Read the fine print, understand how your data is being used, and don't be afraid to ask questions. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is.
All right, good advice. So far, we've got robots giving us financial advice and AI becoming our personal financial assistants. What else is AI doing in finance? It seems like the possibilities are endless.
They really are. And the GFIN report talks about a pretty interesting application, AI simplifying consumer information.
Okay, that sounds promising. Tell me more.
Imagine AI breaking down those super long terms and conditions documents into plain language that anyone can understand,
Hmm.
or creating personalized financial education videos based on your knowledge gaps.
Now, that's something I can get behind. Financial jargon can be so confusing.
Exactly. It's like they're speaking a different language.
Right, it's like trying to read hieroglyphics.
And AI can help bridge that gap. By making financial information easier to understand, AI can empower people to make smarter decisions about their money.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But couldn't oversimplification lead to people misunderstanding important information?
It's a valid concern, and that's why human oversight is still so important. We need to make sure AI simplifies information without sacrificing accuracy or crucial details. Think of it like a teacher using different methods to explain a complex concept to different students.
So AI is like the cool, tech-savvy teacher who can break things down in a way that actually makes sense.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right balance between simplification and accuracy.
Got it. Now let's zoom out a bit. The GFIN report mentions how different countries are approaching AI regulation. What's the global perspective on all of this? Is everyone on the same page?
Well, there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah.
Some countries are taking a cautious wait-and-see approach, focusing on research and trying to understand the potential risks and benefits of AI.
So they're being careful.
Exactly. They want to make sure they get it right.
Mhm.
Others are diving right in creating specific AI frameworks or adapting existing regulations to fit this new technology.
So it's like some countries are dipping their toes in the AI pool while others are doing cannonballs?
That's a great analogy. The report highlights some interesting examples. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority has an AI lab where they're testing out different AI applications in finance. They're working with industry experts to figure out the best way to regulate AI and promote innovation while keeping consumers safe.
That sounds like a pretty hands-on approach. What about other countries?
Canada is figuring out how to apply existing securities laws to AI systems, making sure current regulations cover the risks and opportunities AI presents. And then there's Israel, which has an interagency task force focusing specifically on AI and finance. They're looking at things like consumer protection and how AI might affect the entire financial market.
Wow, so many different approaches. It seems like everyone is trying to figure out this AI thing in their own way.
Exactly. But the common thread is finding the right balance between promoting innovation and managing risk. Regulators worldwide recognize AI's potential, but also understand the need to protect consumers and keep financial markets stable.
So it's about creating an environment where AI can thrive without causing chaos.
Precisely. It's about making sure AI benefits everyone and doesn't just create more problems.
That makes sense. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, from robo-advisors and personalized finance to AI simplifying consumer information and the global regulatory landscape. It's clear AI is shaking things up in finance.
It's definitely a game changer.
What stood out to you the most from all of this?
What's really fascinating is how all these different AI applications are connected. They're not isolated trends. They're all part of a larger shift towards a more data-driven and personalized financial system.
So it's like AI is the conductor of an orchestra, bringing all these different instruments together to create a symphony of financial services.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah,
And this interconnectedness is only going to grow as AI becomes even more sophisticated and integrated into our financial lives.
that's both exciting and a little daunting.
It is. We've talked about some potential downsides of AI, like data privacy and the risk of AI hallucinations. But what should our listeners be most wary of? I'd say be wary of the hype. It's important to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used in different ways. We need to be critical of the claims made about AI and make sure it's being used to benefit everyone, not just a select few.
So don't believe everything you hear about AI. Do your research and make sure it aligns with your values.
Exactly. The future of finance is being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play in ensuring that AI is used responsibly and ethically.
Well said. We'll be back with part 2 of this deep dive where we'll explore some real-world examples of AI in action and delve deeper into the future of AI in finance. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into AI in finance.
Last time we talked about robo-advisors, personalized finance, and even AI making those dense financial documents easier to understand.
Right, a lot to cover.
It is. It's amazing how AI is already changing things.
Yeah, and we're only just scratching the surface.
That's what's so exciting about this whole topic. It feels like we're on the cusp of something really big.
Absolutely. What's interesting is how all these AI applications are connected. It's not just a bunch of separate trends. It's a whole new way of thinking about finance.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about how it all fits together.
Well, remember we talked about open finance, where you can choose to share your data with different financial apps.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Well, AI is the key to making sense of all that data. It can see patterns and give you insights that a human would never be able to spot.
So AI is like a detective for your finances.
Exactly. It analyzes all your transactions and figures out your spending habits, your saving goals, even your risk tolerance.
Wow, it's like AI can see into the future of my finances.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
And then it uses that information to power all sorts of cool AI applications.
It's like those personalized finance apps that give you budgeting advice.
Exactly. Or a robo-advisor that suggests investments based on your goals and risk tolerance. It's all connected.
That's pretty amazing. This interconnectedness sounds powerful, but also a little scary. What are some things we should be thinking about as AI gets more involved in our finances?
That's a great question. One thing to think about is the potential impact on jobs. Some tasks that humans do now will probably be automated by AI.
So are robots going to take over all the finance jobs?
It's not that simple. AI will likely change the types of jobs available in finance. Some jobs will disappear, but new ones will emerge. We'll probably see more opportunities in areas like data analysis, AI development, and AI oversight.
So instead of being replaced by robots, finance professionals will be working with them.
Exactly. It'll be more about collaboration than replacement. The key is to adapt and develop the skills needed to work alongside AI.
It's like learning a new language, the language of AI in finance.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to communicate with and manage these AI systems effectively.
So it's not about fearing AI, but about understanding it and working with it to create a better future.
Exactly. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's up to us to ensure that it's used for the benefit of humanity.
Okay, so we've got AI changing jobs and becoming more interconnected. Where do you see all of this heading in the next few years? What's the future of AI in finance?
Well, the pace of innovation is incredible. I think we'll see even more advanced robo-advisors that can handle really complex financial planning.
So even more sophisticated than what we have now.
Oh yeah, much more sophisticated. And personalized finance will become even more personalized with AI anticipating your needs and suggesting solutions before you even realize you need them.
So it's like having a financial mind reader.
In a way, yes. AI will become so integrated into our financial lives that we won't even realize it's there. It'll just be working behind the scenes, making things smoother and easier.
That sounds pretty amazing. But as AI becomes more powerful, don't we need some guardrails? How do we ensure that it's used responsibly and ethically?
Absolutely. The GFIN report emphasizes the importance of international collaboration when it comes to AI regulation.
That makes sense. AI doesn't stop at borders.
Exactly. So we need global standards and guidelines to ensure it's being used responsibly everywhere.
So we need a global rulebook for AI in finance.
You could say that different countries will have their own priorities and approaches, but it's crucial to have a baseline level of cooperation to prevent unintended consequences. Think of it like international air travel. We have global standards for safety and security to ensure everyone is protected no matter where they're flying.
Right, that makes sense. It's like creating a global financial ecosystem where AI can thrive, but within a set of agreed-upon rules.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
We need to ensure that AI innovation benefits everyone and doesn't create new risks for the global financial system.
It's a delicate balance for sure. This is a lot to take in. We've gone from robo-users to personalized finance, from jobs to global regulation. What are some key takeaways our listeners should keep in mind as they navigate this new world of AI in finance?
Well, first, AI in finance is here to stay. It's not a fad, it's a fundamental shift in how we manage our money. Second, it has the potential to make finance more efficient, accessible, and personalized for everyone. And third, and this is crucial, we need to be informed and engaged in the conversation about how AI is developed and used in finance.
So stay curious, stay informed, and maybe even a little bit skeptical.
Exactly. The future of finance is being shaped right now, and it's up to all of us to ensure that AI is used for good.
Well said. I'm ready for part 3 of our deep dive, where we'll see how some of these AI applications are actually playing out in the real world.
Let's do it.
All right, so welcome back to our deep dive, everyone. It's time for the final part of our AI in Finance series.
I can't believe it's already the last part. Time flies when you're talking about robots and algorithms.
It really does. We've covered so much ground already, from those robo-advisors and personalized finance.
Right, and how different countries are approaching AI regulation.
Exactly. But now it's time to get down to brass tacks. How is all of this actually being used in the real world?
Okay, well, let's start with something we can all relate to, robo-advisors. Companies like Betterment and Wealthfront have been using AI to manage investments for a while now.
Yeah, I've heard of those, but I've always been a little hesitant to trust a robot with my money.
I get it, but these robo-advisors are actually pretty sophisticated. They take into account your financial goals, your risk tolerance, and even what's happening in the markets to create a personalized portfolio for you.
So it's not just about picking stocks, it's about creating a whole investment plan.
Exactly. And they don't just set it and forget it either. They adjust your portfolio as needed, rebalance things, and even help you save money on taxes.
That's pretty impressive. I'm starting to see the appeal. What about AI in other parts of personal finance? Like beyond investing, what are some real-world examples?
Well, there's Zeta,
Yeah.
an app specifically designed for couples to manage their money together.
Oh, that's interesting. My partner and I could probably use something like that.
Yeah, it can be really helpful.
Yeah.
It helps couples track their spending, set budgets, and even decide how to split shared expenses.
So like a financial counselor for couples.
You could say that. It helps them stay on the same page financially, which can be a lifesaver for relationships.
I can imagine. Okay, now what about AI, making those complicated financial documents easier to understand? We talked about that in the last part. Are there any companies actually doing that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
One that comes to mind is Policy Genius. They use AI to help people understand insurance, which could be super confusing.
Tell me about it.
Right. Their platform figures out what kind of insurance you need based on your situation and then explains it all in plain English.
Yeah.
No more legal jargon.
No more trying to decipher pages of tiny print. Sign me up.
Exactly. It's like having a personal insurance expert guiding you through the whole process.
Okay, all of these examples are really cool. It seems like AI is making financial services more accessible and easier to use for everyone.
That's the goal. But as we've discussed throughout this whole deep dive, it's important to remember that AI is just a tool. We still need humans in the loop to ensure it's being used responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely. It's not about humans versus robots. It's about finding the right balance between the two.
Exactly. The future of finance is about collaboration between humans and AI, each leveraging their strengths to create a better financial future for everyone.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of AI in finance. It's been quite a journey.
It really has. And I hope our listeners found it informative and engaging.
Me too. As always, we encourage you to keep learning and exploring this topic. It's constantly evolving, and there's always something new to discover.
And who knows what the future holds for AI in finance. It's an exciting time to be following this space.
Absolutely. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of AI in finance. We'll catch you next time.